Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we welcome the arrival of the Honorable Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, accompanied by the Honorable Datuk Amar Haji Fadillah bin Yusof, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, Malaysia.
From dawnlit shores to twilight skies, together spirits high. Rhythms echo, voices sing, a symphony of hearts within. Kindness flows.
Once again announcing the arrival of the Honorable Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, accompanied by the Honorable Datuk Amar Haji Fadillah bin Yusof, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, Malaysia.
Mountains high, together become one, and hearts align. United, together we rise, reaching for the skies. ASEAN, our land, our home. Flavors rich, traditions told, in every dish a past unfolds. Gathered close, our ties we weave, a feast of love in harmony. Rhythms echo, voices sing, a symphony of hearts within. Kindness flows.
Kindly remain standing for our national anthem, Negara Ku, and the ASEAN anthem. Kindly be seated. To commence the ceremony, I would now like to invite Al-Fadil Ustaz Muhammad Ilmi Hidayat bin Sabri to the stage to lead us in a dua recital.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, the Lord who rules over the heavens and the earth, we express our gratitude to you for your permission and abundance of grace, so we can gather and make the joint opening ceremony of the 43rd ASEAN Ministers on Energy meeting and the 25th ASEAN Energy Business Forum a success. Ya Allah, we seek your guidance in every matter. Bless our plans and efforts to advance our nation. Ya Allah, Ya Fattah, Ya Alim, guide our leaders who bear the trust and responsibility in governing our nation with the continuous light of your guidance. Lead all of us towards the straight and righteous path that leads to unity, sustainability, and prosperity. Ya Allah, grant us wisdom and guidance, strength and capability in carrying out efforts and strategies to achieve the goal of Malaysia Madani. Ya Allah, Ya Mu'min, Ya Muhaimin, we seek safety and well-being for ourselves, our leaders, and our nation from all threats and disasters. Strengthen our determination, passion, and reliance on you in shouldering the responsibility of advancing our country and region so that they may be honored and respected. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you for the blessing, Ustaz Muhammad Hilmi. The Honorable Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, the Honorable Datuk Amar Haji Fadillah bin Haji Yusof, Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia and Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, Excellencies, Ministers and Deputy Ministers of ASEAN Member States, His Excellency Chief Secretary to the Government of Malaysia, His Excellency Director General of Public Service of Malaysia, the Honorable Deputy Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, His Excellency ASEAN Deputy Secretary General, delegations of ASEAN member states, dialogue partners, and representatives of international organizations, Excellencies, Secretary General of Ministries, heads of departments, and senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, Selamat datang, salam sejahtera, and a very good afternoon. A warm welcome to the joint opening ceremony of the 43rd ASEAN Ministers on Energy meeting and its associated meetings and the ASEAN Energy Business Forum 2025 here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. A round of applause. Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to start off our event this afternoon, please join me in inviting the Honorable Datuk Amar Haji Fadillah bin Yusof, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation Malaysia, to deliver the welcoming remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani, and very good afternoon to all. The Honorable Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Excellencies, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ministry of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome all of you to the vibrant city of Kuala Lumpur for the 43rd ASEAN Ministers on Energy meeting and its associated meetings, and the 2025 ASEAN Energy Business Forum. The gathering continues a proud tradition that began in 1980, when ASEAN first came together with a shared goal to ensure reliable, affordable and sustainable energy for our region. More than 4 decades later, that spirit of solidarity continues to guide us. When Malaysia last hosted AMEM in 2015, under the theme Powering ASEAN Towards a Greener Community, we celebrated key milestones. Together, we surpassed our regional targets on energy efficiency and renewable energy. We launched the Lao, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore Power Integration Project, or better known as LTMS, PIP, the first step towards multilateral power trade. At the same time, we also expanded the Trans-ASEAN gas pipeline and strengthened regional energy institutions. 10 years on, I'm proud to say that ASEAN has made remarkable progress. The LTMS interconnection is now operational, proving that regional power sharing is not just an idea, instead a reality. Building on this momentum, our renewable energy share has more than doubled, and energy efficiency has improved by over 25% since 2005. These achievements are not the result of any single effort, but the collective determination of all ASEAN member states to move towards a cleaner, more secure, and more connected energy future. So, ladies and gentlemen, today, I'm happy to inform under Malaysia's chairmanship that 43rd AMEM has successfully achieved its 2025 priority economic deliverables and several important initiatives as follows. Number 1, the endorsement of an enhanced Memorandum of Understanding on ASEAN Power Grid, APG, which also aims to strengthen regional interconnection. Number 2, the endorsement of new APAEC 2026 to 2030 that will serve as our roadmap for the next 5 years. Number 3, the endorsement of the ASEAN Petroleum Security Agreement or APSA Successor Agreement. Number 4, the launch of the APG Financing Initiative supported by the Asian Development Bank and the World Bank with a combined commitment of over 12 billion USD. Number 5, the endorsement of REC or REC framework for ASEAN and nuclear power plant development framework. Number 6, the finalization of submarine power cable term of references and the renewable energy long-term roadmap. Number 7, the launch of the ASEAN Energy Efficiency Database and Investment Platform. And number 8, the establishment of the ASEAN School of Regulation, or ASR, which will be led by Malaysia, and many more significant milestones that are truly important to energy sector. So these milestones reflect ASEAN's determination to accelerate our energy transition towards sustainable and inclusive that leaves no member state or community behind. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia remains deeply committed to this shared vision. We are proud to have helped lay the groundwork for initiatives such as the LTMS interconnection and the APG financing initiative that will drive investment, innovation, and regional prosperity. So looking ahead, together, we as ASEAN will continue to coordinate projects, harmonize technical standards, and turn plans into tangible outcomes. This reflects our shared belief that national policies must complement regional goals, for our destinies are truly interconnected. Distinguished delegates, the theme of energy sector for this year's AMEM, Powering ASEAN, Bridging Boundaries, Building Prosperity, captures that spirit perfectly. It is about deepening integration, strengthening resilience, and ensuring that every member state benefits from this transaction. So in closing, as host, Malaysia stands ready to work hand in hand with all all ASEAN member states, dialogue partners, and international organizations to advance this shared vision. So let us reaffirm our unity, commit to tangible and transformative outcomes, and together propel ASEAN towards becoming a regional leader in the global energy transition. So I would like to record my highest appreciation to the SOME, senior official, and all the ministers and deputy ministers of ASEAN. Without you, we will not be able to realize what we have achieved today. So thank you very much to all. So with that, I once again extend my warmest welcome to all delegates. So may this meeting bring fruitful discussions and stronger cooperation for our shared energy future. Thank you.
Thank you, the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, for your welcoming remarks. Honourable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us now take a moment to reflect on our shared achievements, as mentioned by our Deputy Prime Minister. Please turn your attention to the screen for a special montage highlighting the milestones of ASEAN Energy Cooperation in 2025, a journey of partnership, progress, and purpose. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This montage highlights the key achievements under Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship in 2025. Under the theme, Powering ASEAN, Bridging Boundaries, Building Prosperity, the ASEAN energy sector achieved significant milestones, including the launch of the ASEAN Plan of Action for Energy Cooperation 2026-2030, the endorsement of the enhanced MOU on the ASEAN Power Grid, and the ASEAN Framework Agreement on Petroleum Security, reinforcing regional energy cooperation and integration. Honourable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now our distinct honour to invite the Honourable Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, to deliver the keynote address.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Timbalan Perdana Menteri, Datuk Sri Fadillah Yusof, rakan-rakan menteri-menteri dan saudara-saudara yang dihormati sekalian. Kita bersyukur kepada Allah SWT dan menyatakan penghargaan kepada rakan-rakan, khususnya Datuk Sri Fadillah yang dapat mengemudi sidang ini, dan saya bisikkan kepada Datuk Sri Fadillah sebentar tadi bahawa melihat kepada beberapa rangkaian pertemuan menteri-menteri ASEAN, sidang Menteri Tenaga ini di antara yang lebih berhasil dan substantif dengan hasil yang sangat konkret. Tahniah. Ini satu tanda aras yang sukar dicapai, tapi baiknya kerana dia di antara mesyuarat yang terakhir, jadi sukar diikuti yang lain, jadi menunjukkan keupayaan yang baik dan saya bangga dengan rumusan keputusan yang dibuat. Tidak mudah dan tahniah kepada seluruh tenaga. Kerana tenaga ini merupakan di antara strategi utama dalam kepengurusian ASEAN kita. Ya. Dan kita lontarkan idea ini sejak awal sehingga termeterai dalam satu perjanjian atau persefahaman dalam sidang ini. So, fellow ministers, excellencies and ladies and gentlemen, I began just now by expressing my profound thanks and gratitude to the ministers and countries in ASEAN who've been very supportive of this venture. The last few years, and particularly this year, we made it very clear that one of the thrusts of our chairmanship is energy transition, with the focus on energy or power grid, or ASEAN power grid, covering initially Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, and coming into Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand, and then Sarawak as of course one of these energy hub in the region, going to Indonesia and the Philippines. So, listening to Datuk Fadillah's summation of the conference today, I made this reference to the fact that we have had series of meetings of ministers from, say, January this year, foreign ministers now, probably the last energy ministers meeting. And I must commend not only Fadillah, the entire ministers and the secretariat, because this is probably most substantive with formidable results seen in the collaboration of a cohesive ASEAN fraternity. So thank you very much and congratulations. Of course, these meetings of course come at a very pivotal moment. Across the world, the energy landscape is shifting under the pressures of decarbonization, supply security, and affordability. Now for ASEAN, home to 680 million, and because we are quite productive, we can reach 700 million very soon, if you measure productivity in that sense. And but other than the population growth, it is still, despite the uncertainties, tariff pressures, etc., it is still the fastest, one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And this transformation must be managed responsibly and collectively. So this year, the region has achieved key outcomes for the energy sector. We have adopted phase 1 of the ASEAN Plan of Action for Energy Cooperation and endorsed the enhanced Memorandum of Understanding of the ASEAN Power Grid. Again, thanks to my colleagues ASEAN for being very, not only supportive, but I think energetic. I thought only Minister of Energy would be very energetic, but I think it represents the entire leadership. Now, these decisions mark major progress in regional cooperation, integration, and being able to focus on energy transition. The new plan of action will serve ASEAN's policy compass for the next decade. It sets clear pathways to expand renewable energy, improve efficiency, and strengthen regional interconnection. It also places equity at the center of our decision. This ensures that all member states advance at their own pace towards a low-carbon, sustainable, and integrated energy future. And this is, again, to my mind, an exceptional feat within the ASEAN fraternity. Every field that we discuss, be it digital transformation or energy transition or growth generally with trade and investments and inter-trade, we always consider the fate, level of success and progress of all countries. And this is, of course, consistent with many of our national policies, because we cannot cope with that obsolete understanding of progress when you tolerate or condone inequity and great disparity between regions or sub-regions, the rich and the poor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a central pillar of that vision, I should say the crown jewels, if I may, is the ASEAN Power Grid, the APG. Now, conceived more than 2 decades ago, deliberation after deliberation, but only in the last few years, I must commend again the ministers for taking a more concerted action, knowing that time is the essence, that is also the zeitgeist of our times, and therefore to achieve ASEAN's aspiration to connect our power system, share resources, and build resilience and interdependence. This will enable us to harness renewable energy potential, reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, and deliver reliable, affordable electricity and energy across borders. We have long supported the APG, and beyond our interconnection with Singapore and Thailand, we are part of the Lao PDR Thailand Malaysia Singapore Power Integration Project, which has enabled multilateral power trade. Now, Brunei is exceptional because it's close proximity to Sarawak and therefore to Indonesia. And the Energy Minister of the Philippines, since she is assuming the chairmanship, kept on reminding me while I was focusing on Fadillah's speech. They said, don't leave the Philippines. And can I assure you that ASEAN has to work as one. So you can be rest assured. Thank me if we are successful, and if we are slow, blame Minister Fadillah. So together we have an opportunity to embark on this phase of Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines framework. And we'll make ASEAN a truly integrated entity grid. A well-connected grid strengthens regional integration, attracts grid investment, creates quality jobs, and positions ASEAN as a hub for clean energy industries and technologies. The challenges, harmonizing regulations, financing infrastructure, and again I thank your achievement with the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank, because this would be essential and critical to ensure our success, but together we can also ensure effective governance, significant, surmountable, with trust, commitment, and political will. So we need to redouble our efforts accelerate the process, interconnection projects, align regulatory frameworks, and deepen public-private collaboration. So the ASEAN Energy Business Forum provides the ideal platform for these partnerships to turn plans into power lines and vision into reality. The APG is the backbone of regional cooperation that links sustainability, security, and affordability in real terms. Malaysia remains fully committed to this shared agenda. With unity of purpose, we can balance the energy trilemma and power ASEAN's growth for decades to come. But Excellencies, friends, you know that ambition must be matched with resources. The APG requires sustained investment and innovative financing. So again, you must commend your efforts and your ability to attract the interest of major institutions and the participation of the private sector to ensure the success of the power grid financing. Let me end by again expressing my gratitude and thanks and commendations, because my other colleagues may be rather upset because if you distinguish the differences of all these conferences, a number of those that I personally have attended, from security to digital to, of course, foreign finance. I think, without exaggeration, the Energy Ministers Conference probably is a landmark and the most successful one thus far. Thank you. But real cooperation is still being written. So the challenge is for you to return and come back next year to Manila and ensure that what we have decided can be effected soon as possible. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister, for your inspiring keynote, no doubt always with a touch of humour and real talk. Kindly remain on stage. We would now like to commemorate this significant occasion. May we now invite the ASEAN Ministers and Timor-Leste and ASEAN Secretariat to the stage for the official photo session. We now move to a significant moment, ladies and gentlemen, in today's program, the ceremony marking the completion of 2025 Priority Economic Deliverables and Annual Priorities of the ASEAN Energy Sector in 2025, symbolizing our region's collective commitment to powering ASEAN, bridging boundaries, and building prosperity. It now gives me a great pleasure to invite our ushers to present our honourable ministers with the folders symbolizing the achievements of the ASEAN Energy Milestone. Honourable ministers, we will be having 4 poses today. So we shall start off with our first pose, holding the folder closed. It's a very beautiful folder, as you can see. Beautiful gold motif on the black folders. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to our second pose. We would like to invite our honourable ministers to open our folders. More clicks from the cameras. And another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, we've just had lunch. High energy. I now like to invite our ushers to please collect all of the folders from our honourable ministers. And now we're moving on to our third and favourite pose, which is the ASEAN way. And so now our ASEAN Way pose. Let's make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, our fourth and final pose, a formal pose. These milestones mark another step forward in ASEAN's journey towards a secure, sustainable, and inclusive energy future. A big round of applause. Thank you, Honourable Ministers. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we bid farewell to the Honourable Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia. Thank you, the Honourable Prime Minister, for gracing us on this very special occasion with your leadership and presence.
The beauty of ASEAN shines so bright, standing strong in the light, from dawnlit shores to twilight skies.
Once again, we thank our Honourable Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar bin Ibrahim, for his attendance here today. Thank you to all of our ASEAN ministers for your presence here today. And once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of this very special occasion. Indeed, the joint opening ceremony, the 43rd ASEAN Ministers